This is where the message meets the poetry. Hermes meets Apollo. Apollo meets Hermes, the rebirthing. Between 6 feet of dirt deep, the birds sing. Passions burn and reborn breathe. Stand with firm feet, curse free. When lacing cuts like an infirmary. All the values that course in me, cause the core belief isn't corporate greed. Act accordingly, accord the needs. Awaken from the dormant sleep. These serpents speak lies through the curving teeth. The profit's free, profit free. Work for free with no earner's fee. As I slur my speech about going in circles and repeat at Gordon speed. Search between in this war in me. Get in where you fit in, but never force the peace. But if you form my team, then I'll set tables, cook and give you a fork to eat. The world I see through alien eyes with no normal feats. It's getting weirder without the bourbon treats and herb relief. Coke wolf's a lone soul, never with the herd of sheep. Looking at my pleasures like make it hurt, please. Till it sores herpes, just to expose what lurks deep. We're close to being in the game, but ain't playing like court seats. Once the show's curtain closed, I'm a curtsy. Learned in defeat that life has no mercy, so I'ma kill this before it murders me. I'm giving you the intersections like merging streets, from the capillaries to where nerves meet. Purging me with urgency, immersed in these emergencies, until the pearlies gleam like we emerge from deep and roaring seas. When I tap the source, I read it, cast spells like sorcery. Frankenstein's surgery, the resurgence seems like a surgeon streak. Bringing the dam back to life like a sermon I preach. The slave to the rhythm bounces to the servant's beat. Ignoring the fact that over there the turf is green. I planted a garden when I had to turn to me. On the verge of breach, not supplying what the vermin eat. Conditions worsening, the faults are yours and me. But we can still be all we yearn to be. Unwavering waves bring shores uncertainty, but we should do more than surf the surface, jeez.
I'm a messenger.
One day you'll understand it. One day the big picture will become candid. One day we'll address the damage, and one day we'll heal the planet. One day we gotta come together in the fourth quarter. But what they promote besides more murder, more wars, while we go from united to divided. The heart of the country's fading, who can revive it? When are y'all gonna see we're all just stupid pawns? From the LGBT to the QAnon. Now the doom is gone, and thanks to media and head of state, every civilian see villains, and clones wanna put the metal to face. Donald to McConnell to Pelosi, they all been doing dirt with the cronies. There's too many vigils with the candled altars, but y'all complain over deplatformation and cancel culture. Whenever it houses hate speech to the politically correct, whether it's Gates or Trump, billionaires still tell you how to be politically correct. Suckers still think he's protecting freedoms, but he don't care about the blue ones or the red ones, just the green ones. And the left's choice wasn't the best poise, but we desperately need less noise. And one day you'll understand it. One day the big picture will become candid. One day we'll address the damage, and one day we'll heal the planet. One day, both candidates fill pockets of bad execs. We could talk Monsanto in our cabinets, paired with Bill Gates snatching farmland, or Donnie posting red triangles hiding his armband. All the allegations to the child conduct, but political bias is a wild construct. We're running off emotions, devoid of rationale, blind to devotion. Loyalists acting like the crown should fit on a royal wig. Soon the soil splits from the fracking on oil rigs. Left or right, we're told to enjoy it like they're so anointed. Ivanka wouldn't let Secret Service shit in a gold toilet. It's crisscross with all the microchip talks, while we're killing off from the spits and coughs. Someone hacked the Pentagon and y'all bitch about Twitter locks and TikToks, acting like you ever cared about the Republic and its democracy, while they push hypocrisy and atrocities, and y'all cheer on this autocracy. One day you'll understand it. One day the big picture will become candid. One day we'll address the damage, And one day we'll heal the planet. One day you'll understand it. One day the big picture will become candid. One day we'll address the damage. And one day we'll heal the planet. One day you'll understand it. One day you'll see the spans with. One day all the sand shift, and you'll realize that the swamp is rancid. One day.
I know you've been hurt by someone else. I can tell by the way you carry yourself.
We're just statistics, digits to these corporate bigwigs who are consistent, looking for pockets to dig in. Every wolf in sheep's clothes say that they're different, but they got the same mission, to tamper the living in our condition. They live to incarcerate the incarnates, keep us disheartened on a harness. The heartless that push genocide, pedophiles pushing death penalties to watch men fry. Tell me where it went awry. When did these devils dim our light? The spirit's been daunted, they forgot what's been inside, so they feign confidence and cling to pride. How you win at life when dissonance don't accept that you're a loser, and the drugs, booze, or sex is no longer a soul soother. Top dog, bottom of the barrel, don't be a statistic. Between the facial recognition and fingerprints, it would be a miracle of mystics to leave the grid list. We're all slaves to capitalism, don't be a statistic, mind your business. Top dog, bottom of the barrel, don't be a statistic. Between the facial recognition and fingerprints, it would be a miracle of mystics to leave the grid list. We're all slaves to capitalism, don't be a statistic, mind your business. Carpenters to police officers, linoleum to marble floors. It's a dog-eat-dog, carnivores. The limelight victims to the war connoisseurs, the apex to the lava worms. Remember the cold trigger and the rotten saw? Of course not, you were too distracted by these drama lords. Clapbacks, but no idea what you're applauding for. These days, dumb videos are key, give the novice awards. While veterans fought in wars and lost their wars. Catch 22, sipping 22, mission 22. Exploited by men who bend the rules. Still, our leaders are never elected by a popular vote. When they lobby in the Capitol lobby, who's the dishonest vote? Dow Jones, rounds thrown, who's the villains? One American killed, 26 civilians died in a village. For all statistics, but y'all ain't listening. Top dog, bottom of the barrel, don't be a statistic. Between the facial recognition and fingerprints, it would be a miracle of mystics to leave the grid list. We're all slaves to capitalism, don't be a statistic, mind your business. Top dog, bottom of the barrel, don't be a statistic. Between the facial recognition and fingerprints, it would be a miracle of mystics to leave the grid list. We're all slaves to capitalism, don't be a statistic, mind your business.
And that's what my point is to constantly, by day to day, showing how we get the short end of the stick. We get stereotyped and stuck in boxes.
Are you bitter? Are you angry?
Yeah, I am angry. Obviously, when, I've seen all of that. I've seen the crack babies, all of that. So nothing America can show me, nothing these critics, nothing, nobody can show me, can back me down. I'm angry, and here we are still killing each other. Everything I ever say, whether it's good or bad, is coming from my heart.
Yeah.
And if it's wrong, then, God ain't finished with me yet. Let him check me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say it as it comes from my heart, because that's what we need.
You gotta keep your ethics intact, because good and bad is a compass that helps you find the way. For all the things that I've done, I'm most renowned for what I didn't do.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Paying attention to what is going on inside
The
me.
path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. The path of righteousness is more valuable than diamond gifts and Midas bricks. The code in the divine script till the designs rip. The universe is just a cell I'm confined in. The path gives brightness to blind men, high res. I see how I need to die next, so I line step with my spine stretched. Trust in the signs test, cause time's spent. The path is uphill, just an avalanche. The struggle to balance, man, with no valid plan. Building with calloused hands to the palace stand. Challenge chance with the savage glance. I'm not the average dance, pressing sandals to sand. Malice ran through the peace walkers, but you're limited by what your needs offer. To seek prosper will never teach martyrs how to bleed proper. We need the reaper's border.
It's okay to be afraid.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. The path of righteousness got 'em batting eyelids. It's just a symptom passerbys miss. This is nothing but a question of add and minus. Does revolution collapse the alignments? Is it resistance or persistence? Predetermined, or we gonna burn the wicks in? Do we firmly sit and weather the storm conditions? How does one win the war within? Emotions gradually feel when love's a battlefield. Cupid's arrows are shrapnel in the shield. We put up our walls, castles of steel, never knowing that we implement the shackles we wield. We haggle deals with the fearmongers that sell us the disease like we're monsters. Merchants of the snake oil, serpents stay coiled. The evils that burn and make lakes boil, while roots deep under earth break soil. The terror's forming on as firm as the terra firma. Hope under rare auras. The path of righteousness, it's a balance act on the trapeze, leaving a trail of shattered beliefs, all in search of our master key.
Blind certainty. A closed-mindedness that amounts to an imprisonment so total that the prisoner doesn't even know he's locked up.
People are trying to replace the ideas of good and bad with better or worse.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Paying attention to what is going on inside me.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
This is not a matter of virtue. It's a matter of my choosing to do the work of somehow altering or getting free of my natural, hardwired default setting, which is to be deeply and literally self-centered, and to see and interpret everything through this lens of self.
We just got to be smarter and sharper, or they're going to start taking away each and every person that steps forward to do anything positive for the community. So that's why you be wondering why everybody want to live a negative lifestyle. It's safer. And the community don't support us when we do step out and take bullets for y'all.
The idea of being courageous is that even though you're scared, you just do the right thing anyway.
We're in a state of denial. One fundamental dogma that sits at the very center of the founding of the American Republic. And that dogma is what? Greed. Corporate greed is corrupt. Of course, the issue of leadership. Not enough vision, not enough courage.
Pseudo-intellectuals acting professional, egocentrical like the interdimensional, but the one-dimensional, dense and dull, dead in the skull, pretending all they do is commendable. Thesaurus thesis, but the boring speakers. Sentences only formed to speak to core believers. Your leaders think that the war redeemers, when all they do is pull fast ones on poor readers. The age of misinformation twists more statements. Resistance to explaining the mission's formation, when the plot's just to fit more graves in. These rulers ain't nothing but a mix of horns and hatred. The devil's advocate with dragon skin can lap and lick the magic stick. They'll outsource your job if the cash is quick. You pacifists are masochists if you think it's rationalist to give the strap a lick to these extravagant fascist pigs that are nationalists. When they make you ration chips and you don't know if you'll have food or not. Running on fume exhaust, saying that you can't move a rock. Y'all are doomed and lost, believing all the hoopla. It proves you've lost. Don't be fooled for it all.
What do you love? I did my first professional play. I was 12 years old. I was in a play called St. Joan by George Bernard Shaw at the McCarter Theater. And boom, I was in love. And if you get close to what you love, who you are is revealed to you and it expands. And that's when art's not a luxury, it's actually sustenance. We need it. It's so beautiful.
If you think I ain't feeling this scene and I'm all about the green, when the communication is low, I put it in the flow. If you ever wonder why I traded sip and brews for this booth, and that's my word, regardless of position in the world, this will always be my. No love lost, I put it in the melody, ear to the rhythms, what are they telling me? Never an embellished ring, I meld with C's, this is what Michelangelo and Donatello me. These dick riders claim the portobello sea, coach a sneaker model trying to sell my feet, despite what I lace ain't running shit. I guess they don't relate to falling in 100 pits, throwing the dumbest fits because you don't want this shit. Broke cracker, nothing but the crumbled Ritz, my whole style is like a pocket full of tumbled lint. Lost my grip and fumbled since, riding rumble strips, it's a bumpy ride, feeling like the dumbest guy, eating a slice of humble pie, succumbing to hay fever, sporting a pitchfork, sweating for this work, but I can't make this work.
They don't care if they're any good or not, right?
If you think I ain't feeling this scene and I'm all about the green, when the communication is low, I put it in the flow. If you ever wonder why I traded sip and brews for this booth, and that's my word, regardless of position in the world, this will always be my. I put it in the melody, cause my life's these songs and I relish these. This is my truth, I tell it free, like a fanatic on the corner that yell beliefs. A church sermon about how my words hurting, or how I need to pour bourbon to eradicate lurking serpents. My words earnest, I gave them the wings in each clip. It's bad shit how these bloodsuckers leech it. I sit and sip clear water like Credence, reflecting on the grievance till I leave it. Past only explained in the letters, remnants sit over the ledger. For never a better, I'm indifferent, cause they talk about the struggle, but I'm living it. I'm too deep into it, if I infer like an Inuit. I befriended it, now I cling to it over instruments.
It's hard, the pull of habit is so huge.
If you think I ain't feeling this scene and I'm all about the green, when the communication is low, I put it in the flow. If you ever wonder why I traded sip and brews for this booth, and that's my word, regardless of position in the world, this will always be my.
Dancing, doing a painting, building something, any opportunity they have, they try to use it to impress upon you their individuality. You know? Then he got back to New York to all his intelligentsia friends, and they all told him, "Don't you know that everybody thinks you're an idiot, and the whole country's making fun of you?" And he said, "That's my job. You know, I'm a poet, and I'm going to play the fool."
And since this pattern is so woven into my identity, it is unfathomable to me that it can ever be curbed. So instead, I drink. Can we please get some alcohol into my mouth?
I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation. When I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred. Building the future, we were designed to make this. I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation. When I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred. Building the future, we were designed to make this. I'm drinking life, taking shots till I'm crowned royal. When they fill this hole in the ground with soil, I was spiraling until I unwound the coil. Been hydroplaning like the route was oil. Whatever, Apollo and Coke is the sound I'm loyal to. Regardless if I'm an artist, they found noise filled the room. I color blank spaces with my vibrations, grabbing moments, death is a light vacant. Laser sharp to give you that third eye LASIK. No room for lazy, it ain't a trait of greatness. I move with hasteness, seeking all that's latent. When it's said and done, my fans will be thankful I made this. I came a long way since that basement. Even if they don't recognize faces, they hear it and name it. It's Coconut Wolf.
I need a drink.
It's rum and coke. I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation when I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred, building the future we were designed to make this. I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation when I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred, building the future we were designed to make this. I'm drinking life, taking shots till I balance the gym beam. It takes big schemes for big dreams. Believe that I'm a grip cream with this team. No rest, cause the sands are shifting. A lot of cats in the present are regifting. They ain't thrifty, you're just thrifting and grifting. I stay grounded and keep uplifting the ground till the earthquakes and it's italicized. Underline that we are all a valid size, despite the judgment viewed through calloused eyes. We're all human, huge man, but the palates lie. We're all in the same boat. Some egos are about to capsize. Be you and never jump on that phallic ride, cause feeling yourself too much is masturbation that sets you up for the fall, whether thrown or splattered pavement.
I need a drink.
It's rum and coke, and I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation when I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred, building the future we were designed to make this. I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation when I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred, building the future we were designed to make this. And I'm drinking life, taking shots till I'm slain. Coin stuck in my ways, so why change? I'm going the distance, cause that sounds like my range. I'm hungry again, read it in my face. I do my take once, and it's obscene too. Illuminate through the iron curtains I beam through. The projections are just what they deem you. Life is just one big rhyme I try to scheme through. And if you see it, then I see you. Artists are just a vessel till the day it leaves you. Reinventing self, looking in mirrors like pleased to meet you. They judge covers before they even read you. But if they see through, there ain't much they can teach you. They'll clip your wings in any attempt to defeat you. Try to delete you, cease you, and seize you. That's why we do what we do. This is the other side trying to reach through. It's rum and coke. I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation when I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred, building the future we were designed to make this. I'm drinking life, inspiring my nation when I lift them up like libations, giving you a shot of that divine and sacred, building the future we were designed to make this.
So the only way I can progress is to return to my life as a sober man and finally hold myself accountable for my actions, past and future. Oh my God, is this what therapy is?
You know what they don't tell you about getting sober? The hardest part, worse than the DTs or the looking back at everything you did or the constant fear of relapse, the hardest part is figuring out what the hell to drink when you order a meal in a nice restaurant.
Are you still searching for happiness? Make your own happiness. That's some
rum and coke.
Well, that's what happens when you get older. Time has already got a piece of you, and eventually it's got a taste for you, and eventually it's going to eat you. All we're ever concerned about is where we're going. That's what we need to know.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Where are we going? What are we doing, and why?
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. Which way's the way of righteousness? Is there enlightenment or just light this spliff? Does it come to those that hone the Midas gift? Is it predetermined or just where the lightning hit? Has it left me or is my lefty writing it? Is it somewhere in the darkness or the jowls that bite like pits? The streaking tears of the crying fits. Is this just the Babylon we're dying in? Every spectator try to clip your wings, drag you down before you find higher winds. How long before you hear the angels' lyres sing as liars dim you down to a tired grin? Caged birds sing a dire hymn. Everyone knows it's just a dying whim. Trauma slowly silences him, feeling nobody can relate to where his eyes have been.
Death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Where are we going? What are we doing and why?
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. Which way's the path of righteousness? Is it high roads or a titan fist? Does it differ or is there a likeliness? Am I a criminal only if the crime exists? Do I forge my destiny or unseen hands designing this? Is there a pain or is it just defining bliss? Is it clairvoyant or something the blindness missed? It seems we all process till the refinement fits. Does truth exist or is it a bias bit? Security blankets to soothe the lionesses. What's the madness behind this shit? Is this a skeleton vehicle? Then what's driving it? Is it Pandora's box? Should I be prying it? Is it out in the open or hiding in privateness? Or just something on occasion we rise to it? Is it universal or microscopic? What's the size of it?
If you haven't found it yet, keep looking.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Where are we going? What are we doing and why?
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a fine life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life.
It's like without a noble aim, how can you withstand any of that? You can't. You become desperate, and once you become desperate, things go from bad to worse very rapidly when you become desperate. You choose your damn sacrifice, because the sacrifice is inevitable, but at least you get to choose it. It isn't precisely attaining the aim that makes us happy. As you all know, if you've ever attained anything, because as soon as you attain it, then the whole little game ends, and you have to come up with another game, right? So it's Sisyphus. And that's okay, but it does show that the attainment can't be the thing that drives you because it collapses the game. Sacrifice. You get to pick your damn sacrifice. That's all. You don't get to not make one. You're sacrificial whether you want to be or not. That's a good thing to know as well.
American democracy is
we the people vowed to fight foreign and domestic evil. Land of the feet, home of the hypodermic needle. Where the curtains see through and minds are feeble. You're either radicalized or position fetal. We the people have been cheated, bruised and beaten, literally eaten by a cannibalistic capitalism. An actual prison, breeding casual division. Through sexism, racism, and classism. Turning minor traits into vast difference. Weak multiply, we need to clip the vast difference. We're all in the same vehicle, riding on flat Michelins. Masses ain't listening as the mass village sits on his throne reigning while you build to death. Taxes kill your breath till no will is left. You feel the stress, convinced that this deal's the best. How can you heal the rest when you don't see the poison? How close to your nose before it's clairvoyant that you are just another pawn or puppet? Its chemicals make you yawn and say, fuck it.
These are fundamental defects in the democratic system.
We the people vowed to fight foreign and domestic evil. Land of the feet, home of the hypodermic needle. Where the curtains see through and minds are feeble. You're either radicalized or position fetal. We the people vowed to fight foreign and domestic evil. Land of the feet, home of the hypodermic needle. Where the curtains see through and minds are feeble. You're either radicalized or position fetal. We the people have had enough. Boomers out of touch. American dream crushed like ice and such. Fourth quarter clutch. You look at your pay stubs and see the pay cuts. It's just so liberty can ring in Freedom Tower. These days, you put dictators in a seat of power. Ironic how now pigs gut you and let you bleed for hours. They abuse elderly and disabled and you cheer these cowards. They say support the troops, but there's no love for the veterans. Mass herding towards the edge of the end, while they dead amends and you keep betting the 10. Federal Act reserved cause the dead is pretend. All masses controlled for dumb assholes. Your SS number and birth certificate are collateral. While the devil's at the center where the madness pose. And he preach about God with a staff of gold. We the people vowed to fight foreign and domestic evil. Land of the fee, home of the hypodermic needle. Where the curtains see through and minds are feeble. You're either radicalized or position fetal. We the people vowed to fight foreign and domestic evil. Land of the fee, home of the hypodermic needle. Where the curtains see through and minds are feeble. You're either radicalized or position fetal.
And that's true all the way along. I mean, elections are basically bought. Here, candidates are vetted by corporate interests. And the way it's done is that unless you have huge corporate financing and support, you just can't run. Nevertheless, the overwhelming majority of incumbents win. What does that tell you? It tells you people are voting for candidates that they don't like because they don't have any choice. And it shows up. In fact, both political parties are well to the right of the population on a great number of critical issues. And the population feels it can't do anything about it. 80% of the population said the government doesn't work for the people. It works for a few big interests looking out for themselves. But if you had asked the next question, they didn't do it, well, what are you going to do about it? People probably would have said, well, I can't do anything. There's no way to do anything about the fact that the government's in the pockets of the rich. That feeling of helplessness, that reflects a democratic deficit. These are enormous problems with the way the democratic system functions. I mean, there's something similar in most places, but the United States is pretty extreme in this regard.
Because you don't expect the candidates to stand for anything. Somehow people don't see how profoundly contemptuous that is of democracy. A really meaningful democracy would mean that I play a role in forming those decisions and creating those positions, that those positions reflect my active, creative participation at it, not just me, but of course everyone. That would be real democracy.
That's not
We're
happening.
very far from that. But we're even departing from the point where there is ratification. When you have stage-managed elections, with the public relations industry determining what words come out of people's mouth.
They call her Pocahontas.
Little Rocket Man.
We are also praying for the people of Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico.
Come on. This guy is a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
And you ain't black. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing is fine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing is fine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Covidius the sheeple, is there an evil to the injection needle? Is it all for control while they console? Is it a lot of bold so they can consoles? They all suggesting the election was stolen, but never addressed seats Republicans are holding. They've been standing front and center just to set us back. Plenty of leftists would have preferred Bernie for the Democrats. He's the most followed, so why wasn't he spokesman central? If the socialist agenda was the end goal, they go on about Venezuela and Dominion, but it's clear the facts are dead and opinions dominion. All these rallies got them giddy, and no one has the nerve to talk about Operation Gideon. Don't get me started about the coup. Y'all keep supporting dude, but don't even know if you are okay with them doing this alley-oop.
Like, what do you want to know?
Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing is fine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing is fine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Joe Obama overused drones, but Trump doubled that 8 years into a loan. Joe Obama built the cages, but they weren't labeled murderers and rapists. Kids weren't as separated that presidency for the residency. Y'all are still a little too quiet about those forced hysterectomies. And I'll be the first to say fuck Biden and Barack for Stand Iraq. But Dawn wanted to pass laws as soon as the baton was handed off. Not to mention all his money invested, pipeline connected, that went into the campaign to stay protected. Playing lawless, promoting Goya in office. Officials shouldn't endorse products, another offense. Just to appeal while he builds a wall. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Layman's kill 'em all.
I wish science agreed with you.
don't think science knows, actually.
Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The right and spine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing and spine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Don't forget pen pals with Kim, voter fraud, protesters snatched by Gestapo cops. Dominate the streets, coddle dictators. Vaccines and stimulus played as big favors. Denying hacks and bounties. No filter, no class, and no boundaries. Kung flu, blame it China. Let's be specific. What is it if Russia and China patrol over the Pacific? Small businesses shouldn't have burned, but your bosses still cried over Walmarts and Targets. But don't get that the insurrection made us a target. Kim's talking barrages, the world's licking the chops. Y'all say that MK Ultra brainwashed, but you got by 4chan twisting your thoughts. There's a difference between patriot and nationalist, but you're convinced the pacifists mean you're a fragile bitch. Fuck fascist pigs quoting common sense, but don't got any common sense. It's incompetent to usher in autocracy over imaginative communists. Socialism doesn't mean no free market, it isn't all bad. Matter of fact, one wrote the pledge to the flag. 1842, it was wrote by a minister. 1923 of the United States was administered. 54, under God came out of the Red Scare, so sinister. So, if y'all want a king, go back to the 1700s, dummy. That has nothing to do with how we founded this country. 4 years, he didn't drain shit. Y'all got by a sadist pig. And please help me understand, cause it still ain't clear how you gonna take down corporate elite billionaires by putting in another corporate elite billionaire. Y'all talk lizard people, but you got by the chameleon with hair. Get the fuck out of here. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing and spine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing and spine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. We're a month into Joe's term. I'm for no pipelines, but also no war. I don't like the serious backlash of Syria. I don't like the status quo in the imperial. I don't support it, but I'm so sick of hearing how the election's over and this virus should have disappeared. Just so we're crystal clear, we have a long way to go. While Captain Do Nothing's down at Mar-a-Lago. After Robin Dolfo pretending he's a golf pro. Just remember how Dude lost twice in the popular vote. And how close his recklessness sparked the civil unrest. They won again, same strings, different puppet.
It's the perspective of a woman who grew up a black child in America who also, you know, likes hip-hop. Like, what do you want to know?
Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing and spine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls. Fake love, they got us all gas chambered. I ain't selling out for the Holocaust as a rap singer. The writing and spine on the wall. Firing squads wanna make a beeline for our skulls.
And we had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen. And President Xi was enjoying it. And I was given the message from the generals that the ships are locked and loaded.
On the 11th hour, tick-tock, time passes and I just grip the clock. Wasting time chirping some bitch talk, Band-Aid ripped off, tick-tock, tick-tock. On the 11th hour, tick-tock, time passes and I just grip the clock. Wasting time chirping some bitch talk, Band-Aid ripped off, tick-tock, tick-tock. Procrastination placement, living the 11th hour. Hell's bitter, heaven's sour. Slow the roll, smell the pleasant flower. Believe in the peasant's power. Once more, it feels needless to want more. Y'all feel finished too, I feel done for. Did you ever think you'd see the sun scorched? Immolation, fire in the hole, run for it. Quit beating around the bush and just come for it. Tried sharing my glass, but none's pouring. Tons of storming, caught in the rain. The victim is not my name. It's obsessive, regressive, so aggressive how I regret shit. It's a head trip when what you love kills you, and you're subservient to it like will do. will do.
I need to write all the time. I need to be writing every day.
On the 11th hour, tick-tock, tick-tock, time passes, and I just ripped the clock. Wasted time chirping some bitch talk, Band-Aid ripped off, tick-tock, tick-tock. On the 11th hour, tick-tock, tick-tock, time passes, and I just ripped the clock. Wasted time chirping some bitch talk, Band-Aid ripped off, tick-tock, tick-tock. For whom the bell tolls, the 11th hour. Coke separated like 7 powder. Never cower, though the sky is falling. I hear this voice and don't know why it's calling. This hide I'm hauling is tattered and cracked. My laughter is sad, trying to survive the aftermath before the science spoils it. I fired off at the mouth and the recoil hit. Dug my own grave till the soil fit. Everything turned sour once I foiled it. Oil lit, trying to be a lantern is the lantern. They still put me on the side like canned corn. Don't open that can of worms. This man is torn. Rose for the occasion, but ain't a fan of thorns. Felt guilty when I spoke up and demanded more. But we're on the 11th hour as the sand just pours, and we must move with haste.
What do I know about immortality? Nothing, except that I have it.
And I'm on the 11th hour, tick-tock, tick-tock. Time passes and I just grip the clock. Cause wasted time chirping some bitch talk. Band-Aid ripped off, tick-tock, tick-tock.
I know you've been hurt by someone else. I can tell by the way you carry yourself.
I refuse to be another statistic to these sadistic, bureaucratic Olympics. So I'ma take my talent and pimp it until ivory towers collapse and I witness the fall of Olympus. Cause they only value positions in the little trinkets. So I scribe true, cryptic, and crimson. Either way they read it, it's embedded, just listen. Shed light, but dim wits dim it. I'm on my mission till I balance the grimace and the grins of bliss. All the suits fitted and I got a box with a nice finish. My incarnation is a carnation, legacy's a biscuit. The serpent hisses, expose of what's hidden. Powerful dialects since this Higgs split to uplift them like a hymn script with his illicit poetry over instruments. Ink and I are intimate, reunited infinite. To slam gavels and guillotines on demons, imps and shit. To refocus ignorance with the audio irritants. Quit gibbering, only details that matter or is it if. The light's boring, so I balance the beams like a gymnast. Even the subconscious is deliberate. Keep those lips stitched. Devils are looking for another lid to twist, trying to cut you and lick the slit. It's about to get heavy, careful not to snap your ligaments. Not sure where on the list I fit between heroic and villainous, but I illuminate with a fog lighter. I lit the wick, cause these cons dish in a condition, and I don't know why you live with it. I guess you're convinced that this is best to be neutral in the midst of it. Million breaths, but you die a billion deaths, squandering hours trying to make the minutes stretch until you miss the next, cause you got no mitt to catch. The ball's dropped, we get a yes, your nips erect. We all had close shaves that nick the neck. Ain't an excuse to nitpick at the fabric that you knit and pick. Life ain't a picnic, some things make you lose pigment. Sometimes your chest take blows that leave the ribs split. Some become baggage, others are like good riddance. Some ride the wave, I ride the rhythm. Brush up on my toothpaste, rinse, spit. Getting out the aftertaste of the singed bits. Repenting for what my sins been, like tisk tisk. Communicating the voices I sit with. Coke's pushing it bolder, Sisyphus.
Don't you think it's important, though, that, I mean, whatever you say about Spike, he's got a lot of us working. Does that matter?
That doesn't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Dope dealers got a lot of us working. That don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't compromise our culture and our principles just to put us to work, just to make us appeal to the masses. Because revolutionaries and freedom never came easy. You know what I'm saying? And he knows he has a lot of work. So if he's up there and it's easy, he should know something is not right. He's gonna forget where he came from. And he didn't come from Brooklyn, he came from a woman. I'm angry, and you know, here we are still killing each other. And that's what my point is to constantly, by day-to-day, show how we get the short end of the stick. We get stereotyped and stuck in boxes. Everything I ever say, whether it's good or bad, is coming from my heart.
Yeah.
And if it's wrong, then, you know, God ain't finished with me yet. Let him check me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say it as it comes from my heart, because that's what we need. That's what we need.
These are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians by the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Even if you earn it, you still owe.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. Which way's the way of righteousness? Is there enlightenment or just light this spliff? Does it come to those that hone the Midas gift? Is it predetermined or just where the lightning hit? Has it left me or is my lefty writing it? Is it somewhere in the darkness or the jowls that bite like pits? The streaking tears or the crying fits? Is this just the Babylon we're dying in? Every spectator try to clip your wings, drag you down before you find higher winds. How long before you hear the angels' liars sing as liars dim you down to a tired grin? Caged birds sing a dire hymn. Everyone knows it's just a dying whim. Trauma slowly silence him, feeling nobody can relate to where his eyes have been.
And it's cool to talk about it, to recognize it, but I mean, how many times can we say the same thing?
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Even if you earn it, you still owe.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it. Which way's the path of righteousness? Is it high roads or a titan fist? Does it differ or is there a likeliness? Am I a criminal only if the crime exists? Do I forge my destiny or unseen hands designing this? Is there a pain or is it just defining bliss? Is it clairvoyant or something the blindness missed? It seems we all process till the refinement fits. Does truth exist or is it a bias bit? Security blankets to soothe the lionesses. What's the madness behind this shit? Is this a skeleton vehicle? Then what's driving it? Is it Pandora's box? Should I be prying it? Is it out in the open or hiding in privateness? Or just something on occasion we rise to it? Is it universal or microscopic? What's the size of it?
I feel guilty walking by somebody. I gotta give him some mail.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
Even if you earn it, you still owe.
The path of righteousness, a fork, lifelessness, a find life in it. The path of righteousness only answers to those who fight for it.
There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or a dollar. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. Look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that.
Leave a froze, drop a jewel. Leave your brain stimulated. Niggas is frozen, feeling like Braille. Leave a froze, drop a jewel. Leave your brain stimulated. Niggas is frozen, feeling like Braille. Leave a froze, drop a jewel. Leave your brain stimulated. Niggas is frozen, feeling like Braille. Leave a froze, drop a jewel. Leave your brain stimulated. Niggas is frozen, feeling like Braille.
I leave them frozen, paralysis on the analysis. I'm like Eric B. for prayers on the ballot tick. Me and mine's the best, like a Khaled hit. Count on it like an advocate. Suckers on the phallic tip since I galloped in. He's a superstar like Dallas Fitz. Gallons of spit to replenish oceans. Brenda Foden, Coke goes in with the demented dope pen. Nah, he's just off script more with the lost scriptures. Bringing Wolfgang to the back mixture. I rock sick gore around stone women, cause the flow's different and broke the pendulum. I wrote the pen tip I was meant to true. Like acid paper. Wartime, I take no prisoners and save the bragging for later. Froze like liquid nitrogen when I got the mic again. I won't stop till the withdrawals are worse than the Vicodin. Success uphill, I'm inclined to stem. Steamroll bling rappers, leave a diamond pressed. I reign at Hurricane Ivan's death. Midas text, but the time correct. $5 grand for a feature on your bullshit timestamp. Whatever, bye man, you ain't touching my brand. We built it from the ground up, leaving suckers ground up. Vibe and weave the beat, punchlines finish them by round one. Cold wolf down pucks like old Yeller. To anyone claiming cold melted, here's the full belt until it register like high notes in the Sopranos. And we go viral, Code Nano. Dummies try to touch beats, but get mummified like Utzi. Influenced like Walt Disney, drying pen tips until it's time capsule like cryogenic. Cats saying that they robbed Drake for the Iceman. They get the cold shoulder, the frostbite hands. Flirting with death, pussy popsicles. Chicks got the coke nose, snot trickle.
Noodles. Learn to cook those properly, and you'll be surprised how quick and easy it is to knock off a delicious dinner.
I cook up, bring heat like 370. Candy rabbits try to tamper with my recipe. Chickens don't know how to wing it, they butcher existence, so I pull trees. Hog limelight, carry myself like it's illegal to hold me. Chickens caress breast and thighs, use tongues as instruments. They so calamari, but I ain't ringing it. They claim that they toss green, but just look like they toss salads. My variety spice it up for the hot palates. I grill it, steak sizzling, prime cuts to the gristle ends. Over dope chops, I go ham. If you don't feel it, here's a sausage, Coke brand. I muscle through crews and they clam up. Filet mignons trying to pull the cord on blue when they ran up. They get the critique like Gordon, but it's bolder. Bye son, you ain't hot sauced up, Buffalo Soldier. I got the fat style and mad flavors since I was pickle performing capers. I got the fat style and mad flavors. I got the fat style and mad flavors. I got the fat style and the mad flavors. It's the main event rap caterer. I got the fat style and the mad flavors. Can't spit but nothing sticks to the wax paper. I feed lines like soup kitchens since I was trying to make blue cheese. Who you kidding? Havarti ha. I slice and cube your whole party hard. Leave the pros alone if you ain't got the artsy bars. I was out for the bread, sipping bottled rye, but you can't lead the blind with marbled eyes. Now we keep it pure like a distill set with the clear text. I'm ready for wealth, that was meal prep. Target lock, tag it and bag it. Garlic breath MCs got me gagging. They only ever made sourdough Target biscuits. I pretzel them with thoughts twisted. Radiate so hot, it turned Texas to toast. Comparing us, that's matzo to brioche.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
You fucking donut.
I got the fat style and mad flavors since I was pickle performing capers. I got the fat style and mad flavors. I got the fat style and mad flavors. I got the fat style and the mad flavors. It's the main event rap caterer. I got the fat style and the mad flavors. Can't spit, but nothing sticks to the wax paper. Best to dip before I serve vegetables. I'm showing y'all any beats edible. I did it without flaunting carrots. Just razor wick, cracking cabbage, leave your hair split. So don't take it there, onion heads. Kids calling flowers, they don't want it next. Squash it, winning's a poor bet. Like broccoli, these beatdowns leave the floor red. Black and blues, last straw left them buried. I can't elope where the fresh watermelon pears be. I pineapple bottoms on cocoa nuts. After I forage to rhyme orange and turn vocals up. So man, go seeking the key we need. Palms of granite, give him the weak knees. Grapes of wrath turning raisins. He snaps on bars, peachy placement. I got the fat style and mad flavors. Since I was pickled performing capers. I got the fat style and mad flavors. I got the fat style and mad flavors. I got the fat style and the mad flavors. It's the main event rap caterer. I got the fat style and the mad flavors. Can't spit, but nothing sticks to the wax paper.
Heat up to maximum, and then just make a well. Get it really nice and hot. Chicken breast, very lean, hardly any fat. On there you've got this little fillet. Slice that off. You're getting it really nice and thin, and to cut it into strips. Now, the secret. Squeeze fresh lime, and then add the coconut.